I felt like a Spanish, like a Puerto Rican in this hair.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Dadalogues Unfiltered.
Here we go.
Man,
How you been living, Cody?
whew, it's been a rough one. I'm gonna pop open some of this basil head, and my brother got it for me.
Never
for my
had
birthday.
it. Never had it. Your brother's a cool cat, man. Ooh, looky there.
I enjoy my brother, man. It's nice having some company from him.
Yeah, no, I bet so. And now, where does he live?
Out towards ATL. So
Oh, okay. Hop and skip.
little cheers. You know, a
See
few
what
more
it-
weeks into my 40s.
Smells good.
A little smooth. Ice might have watered it down just a little bit, though. I like it.
Dude, that's good whiskey. That's good whiskey.
Love me some good whiskey. Woo-hoo, that's what I did on it.
Yeah.
So-
yeah, I'll take a splash of that, if you don't mind.
So, guys, I appreciate our followers that we've had so far. The channel's starting to grow.
Yeah, man, no doubt. A lot of thanks.
I think
Whoever
we've
can put up with
definitely-
us other than the wives is surprising.
I've had a good time talking. Man, this has been a therapy session. You know,
Little
we
bit,
start
yeah.
thinking about it.
Yep, free therapy.
You know, a good channel to vent, unwind.
Yeah, and it gets you away for a little bit, and it's something constructive too. So it's like you're not down there just shooting the shit for no reason.
You know, we put some work behind this.
Yeah, a
to
little
get it out
bit.
there.
You especially, man. Kudos to you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I don't have the patience. I just or the understanding.
I've started listening. You know, been on the road a lot this week.
Did you listen to some podcasts?
I did. I did some Jocko this past few. You know,
He's got a good one.
you know, and listened to some stories of some guys he served with, and I connected in some ways, and not on the military side, but like on the family side, like
Sure.
But then it kind of made me realize, like, dude, like I thought I had it bad, or I complained about things, and like, man, there's some people out there that's got it like bad,
Yeah.
and we take that for granted, and that kind of
It kinda runs us
in what
off
we're
right
talking
into
on
it,
tonight.
yeah.
So, you know, and one of the topics tonight is called flipping the tables. It's in my head, you know, flipping, like, and get so pissed,
Sure,
I just
yeah.
want to flip the table.
Yeah.
You know, and they call it the art of holding it together. So we'll go into that a little bit. You know, I want to look at the big picture versus those petty annoyances. You know, sometimes we forget to look at the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
We get annoyed at some of the small things and really forget the big picture.
Yep.
And then going into teaching the kids how to handle the world. And it's really, you know, we're learning and teaching ourselves as much as we're teaching our kids.
For sure.
You know, and there's a lot to it, especially when you got young ones that are going through changes with kids, you know, and how kids are assholes. I'm just going to throw it out
for
there.
sure. No doubt. And they're the most honest people you'll ever meet.
You know, hey, I want you to try a bite of this. Ooh, it's gross.
Yeah.
You know, but you give it to your friend, you're like, buddy, that's freaking good.
Yeah,
And you're
Dad,
just
you
like,
cook
you're
like
just lying
shit.
to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just give me some hash browns, daddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Chicken nugs.
So, yeah, man, I tell you what, this has been an exhausting week for me. There's been a lot on my week that's just been, I've just been gassed this week.
And it's funny you say that. It's because I don't want to rub it in, but dude, I kicked ass this week. I mean, I really did. I think so. Anyway.
And, you know, my professional side of things, I was sharing with my boss today. It's like, man, like I walked out the door with a lot of pats on the backs and good jobs, and man, you really did good in there. And
felt about this big
and
walking out.
And I felt great. And it's
Okay.
like, but then like by the time like shit hits the fan and my boss gets words of everything else that's going on, it's just like, damn, he probably thinks I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've had some conversations with my employer where I'm like, oh yeah, man, you know, good. And then by the end of it, I'm like, shit, do I got a job Monday?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like
that's just how the business goes.
You know,
so.
my week resulted in like I've made like people were crying over things that happened just from turmoil, not from what I did to them, but just because of the chaos I've created.
Sure, yeah, stressful environment.
Yeah, I've made somebody's life like shitty. I've made people like I don't want to be here this week. You know, and it makes me feel guilty, and maybe it's just a lot of
Yeah. How many weeks have we had where somebody made us not want to be there though? You know, I mean, it all rolls downhill. For sure.
Right. You know, and then I get the you know, some of the people that work with me, they're like, I ain't seen you in a while. They're like, are you okay? You know, like, you know, people
I've
that
been
seem
bowed up,
like,
my back C-shaped.
Yeah.
Look at it.
yeah, they look at me like, you all right, man?
Yeah.
Everything okay? I'm like, yeah. I was like I'm ready to snap, and I'm over here angry emailing with my thumbs. I'm just like tap 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 tap, like writing like 70 words a minute
Putting
with my
respectfully
thumbs.
at the end of it.
That's automatically generated.
You got it as your signature.
Yeah, you throw it in there so it's always there.
Yeah, no doubt. But no, I mean, all the little things that you faced, dude, like this week, you said you had a pretty rough week. How bad could it have got?
Well, I seen a few deer on the side of the road, so just
It could have been one that ended up in your passenger seat.
Right, I worked all day Monday. Then I had committed to, I coach a little league team, so I was like, hey, I'm gonna coach. Let's do a practice game on Monday.
Yeah.
I was already planned well, like
squeezing into an already tight schedule.
Yeah, so shit's hitting the fan at work, and it's like, hey, I got to go up to Kentucky. I drive. I leave the practice game, come home, change. I didn't even change clothes. I'm wearing my jersey, like going up the road, and it's like, but like I get there at 2 a.m.
Commitments.
I wake up at like 6. It's like this is the shortest down. Like I'm paying a hotel room $30 an hour to sleep,
and I'm only going to be there for 3 hours, 4 hours. Yeah.
So I'm the last one to check in and the first one to leave.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, and what I'm getting on it is I'm the world's worst about letting the little things throughout the week just like really tear me down and stuff. But hindsight is, and I'll give this example. This is how bad it could be. Jaden will come to me and it's end of baseball practice and he didn't pack him water and we're on the way home, less than 10 minutes from the house, and it is the end of the world because his thirst.
It's so great.
I am going to cease to exist if I don't get some fucking water in my mouth in the next 5 seconds. Hindsight is, son, and I stressed this to him, is you could be drinking water out of a damn mortar hole and you would be happy to have that water. It's like 10-minute drive home ain't gonna, you know what I mean? So it's like, we need to adopt some of that mindset too. It's like you had a rough work week. And when I have a rough work week, I'm not being hypocritical. I want to do the same thing. Is how bad could it have been? Could your rough work week could have resulted in you being unemployed and not having a means to provide it? Could your work week resulted in an injury that changed your life drastically? And now here we are. We're bitching because we hurt a few people's feelings and we're just beating ourselves up.
We're on the road too long, yeah.
But hey, we got something to go to Monday.
You got a home to come home to.
And we got a home to come home to. And the youngins are healthy. And then just what's the big deal? Is it worth bitching about?
Yeah, and that's I think I've talked a little bit on one of the previous episodes. It's like, there's some things to give a F about. And there's some things that we put too much energy into, put way too much emotion into.
Yes. I'm the number one world's worst.
Yeah. And right now, a lot of our kids are they're stressing about this ACAP test.
Yeah.
And
I stressed about it a little bit, especially when I'm helping my boy do his vocabulary. And I'm like, damn, dude, where you been?
And I see a lot of there's a lot of social media posts where moms are just like, our kids are more than just this test. I'm like, when I start reading into it, and so this is my perspective, and it's going to piss a lot of women off, a lot of moms off, probably dads too. I don't know.
Hit them with it.
But I look at it, it's like, what is the purpose? Like, you're not going to pass 3rd grade if you can't fucking read. Okay, if your kid can't read, that's a challenge, and he doesn't need to move on because
I'm the dad you
help.
pissed off. Because I'm almost 30 and I still can't read good.
Well, you know what? If we would have had ACAP.
Yeah, ACAP would have saved me.
I don't know. There's a lot of politics to it.
It is. And I'm strictly joking on that. And you're right. You have to know something. I just wish our education system leaned more towards what are you good at? I'm particularly terrible at reading. I can read to you and then reflect back on it and not be able to tell you anything.
So does that mean you need more help with reading as a child?
Or does it mean that I just need to put my hands on what I'm reading about and I can figure it out? You know what I'm saying? You got visual learners, auditory learners,
right.
And you got hands-on learners. I'm going to put myself in that hands-on category. You know, if you got a kid who can pick the hell out of a guitar, why ain't you going to put a guitar in his hand? Why do you want him to be good at math? And math might not be his thing. He might be born to pick a guitar.
Right.
And it's a loose metaphor, but the point
You know,
stands.
the nerd in me goes like, but if you'd understand how the different wavelengths.
Yeah, no, but
You know,
fuck that. Go ahead, look, he's got a God-given talent, and let the boy, let him blossom, you know? And that's just my outlook on it, but that's coming from a dumbass. So you take that for what it's worth.
So the schools, and I think this is where, like, I think where the real issue comes in is the schools get, and I'm way off topic of my topic here,
That's
but
fine.
like the kids are going to get the pressure because the adults and the administration is getting graded. Like how well I teach you and how well I make you advance and you
It's
learn.
a business.
That changes. That's how they get graded. So if my kids
Yes.
can't freaking read in my classroom, then guess what? Like my school's going to pay for it. And then the next year, I'm gonna have 5% of this third grade is gonna have to repeat itself. Now I'm gonna have an extra 15 kids,
Which don't fit the budget.
Yeah, now I've got to move a teacher around, and our kids are already faced with the effect of COVID.
Sure.
So you've already got a huge class of kids who started later, had to already repeat kindergarten and first grade.
Yeah. And didn't learn shit in that time period because it was, I mean, let's be honest, what did we do during COVID? A lot of nothing.
So on topic, I guess where I pull it back in is, those kids are bottling up a lot of emotion right now.
Yes.
And this week, I asked them practice at Monday, you guys ready for the ACAP? And I really didn't have to ask them; they brought it up. Like one of the kids, and I felt kind of bad because the way this came out was really bad. But one of the kids was talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, y'all don't something about I didn't call him stupid, but if you were a parent or a fly on the wall, it's almost like just coach called all y'all stupid. But really, what I was trying to aggravate them, you guys are going to school because you still got to learn, and you got 12 years to learn. If you
just go ahead and embrace the suck because it ain't over yet. Yeah.
So I kind of gave them a hard. I made a joke that even the kids didn't. I don't know. I feel the parents
over the heads a little bit,
and the parents were like, "That asshole."
Yeah, but it's kind of like rewatching SpongeBob. I don't know about for you, but for me, it's like sometimes I catch a glimpse of an episode of SpongeBob that I watched when I was 8, and then I catch some jokes that I did not understand when I was 8.
There's a lot of things in Disney that's perverted in some ways.
Yeah, perverted, perverse. No, there's some adult type jokes that got missed whenever I was growing up. So that'll probably be one of them. They'll be 19, 20, 25, 30 or whatever one day, and they'll be like, oh shit, that's what he meant.
Yeah.
Even if it's only one.
Yeah. And there's some of those cartoons like Ren and Stimpy. Do you ever watch, you want to talk about?
I remember Ren and Stimpy. Yeah.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah,
there's some of those cartoons that had some real even Family Guy. You see some stuff in Family Guy,
Family Guy's not a child's cartoon for sure.
I turned something on. I subscribed to another streaming system where I could watch some ball games, and I started playing. I think it was it's similar to Family Guy, but it's
American Dad.
Yes,
I love it. That is good stuff.
So I turned American Dad on, and Lucas was like, "This is a cartoon," but he's like, "What is this?"
You want me to tell you one you'll love? F is for Family.
Okay.
Check it out.
I have to look it up.
It takes place in the 80s, and it's about an all-American family. Old dad who's just pissed off about just waking up and breathing. and it's a good show. You should check it out.
So, I want to say I'm bottling it up. This week.
What was your tipping point?
I think there's some fed up stuff. I work in a production environment, and I'm just I see an operator taking a stick, and they're trying to fix something, and I'm messaging the maintenance guy, and I'm like, hey, is it really good for us to have an operator here trying to smack the machine with a stick, a 10-foot pole? I'm I'm trying to get it to work.
Yeah,
and
this ain't the TV with an antenna no more. You can't just slap it and make it work. Yeah,
I've got a customer issue. I'm trying to fix this customer issue and keep this down, and it's hey, I need you to look at this part. I work in quality. It's I need you to inspect this. And it's well, I can't see that. And I was well, because the light's turned off. Let's turn the light on.
Common sense.
Let's go work under the light instead of over around the light.
No.
And then I'm messaging the production guy, and I'm hey, what's the expectation here? And so So I feel like I'm showing my ass a little bit, and I'm not intending to. It's just like I'm just kind of like it's built up all week. I got a lot of stress at home, a lot of stress at work, and it's like I see these little nuances, and I'm just like popping it off.
Sure.
And then I feel like a piece of shit because I'm over here like, is that really the best approach? I could go and talk to him like, hey man, look, I really see that we're having this issue. Hey, like I see this happening a lot. Like how can we fix this? Rather than me being like, what are you gonna do about it? Like I'm tired of seeing it. What are you gonna do about it, right?
Yeah. So this is funny. Just a thought I just had popping in my head is, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like in my professional career versus my home career, I relate a lot of my home to my work as far as leading people. It's like, hell, if I can raise children,
you can manage adults.
It's basically the same thing in my mind.
One wipes their ass and the other one you have to wipe for them, but the ones
in a sense.
But the ones that wipe their own ass are the hardest ones to manage.
I feel like you're right opposite. Correct me if I'm wrong, by all means. I feel like you were leading people before. So, and that's why we're different, I think, is because you were leading people prior to becoming a dad. Me being the opposite, I was a dad before I led people. That being said, I feel like you have that opposite. I feel like you take a lot of that mentality home with you, and you try to necessarily raise your children the way that you lead your employees. I mean, right or wrong, neither one is right or wrong, but that's just something that, kind of popped in my mind, and I was like, we're just almost opposite on that. And maybe
see that?
Yeah. It's like you kind of lead your children professionally, where I lead my professional people a little more sternly, like it's and it is what it is. But just a little thing I just noticed, little thing that popped in my mind. Anyway, yeah, for sure. A little side note.
But yeah, so like I don't know, like I've had, and it's funny because some of the people I work with are like they see me when I start. I won't say show my ass, but like there's some moments where I kind of get like fired up. There's people I work with that's out of town or out of state. They work in different state than we are, and they support us for a lot of things. And when you don't have a personal relationship with the people that you work with or need support from, you're just an email. Like you're a face.
Yeah, you're
not really a face. You're just you're a name on the computer at this point.
You're
in time,
just
right?
another guy.
You've never, like he doesn't know me than the guy that's checking him out at the grocery store.
Sure,
and it's
more or less, yeah.
The guy at the grocery store says, "Hey, can you help me out with a pack of cigarettes?" And he's gonna be like "Fuck you, dude!" Like, no,
yeah. And that's a big difference too between ours. Is I'm blessed enough not to compare it, but is I do have that personal relationship with most of the people that I work with, if not all. However, you're on the scale of you're a little too big to know everyone.
Yeah, like locally, it's a couple hundred people. Like,
sure.
Externally, I've got people all across the United States,
and you're
4 or 5 different states, and
big different span of realities on that. Which I don't know. I mean, we can go ahead and jump into this topic. We might be skipping a little ahead, but how are you teaching your children to handle the world? And not as children, but as adults, which plays hand in hand. But I don't know, what's a key point that just to put you on the spot?
Right. No, yeah, because that one, maybe when we jump into that and spend some time on it, but like, that's where I spend a lot of time on. Like, he's in a 3rd grade. You're at this point where you're trying to teach him, like, you're not a baby anymore, right? You're not an adult yet.
No, but you're blossoming into it.
And you've got to start learning how to process your feelings differently.
Yeah, for sure.
Things hormonally are about to really fucking change for you.
I'll interrupt you and add this. As a male, that seems to be, in my mind, I don't have a daughter, you do, I don't, but that has to be a huge factor in this conversation.
So today on the playground, I say playground, out in the front yard.
Okay.
It's like Lucas is in just a pissy mood. I've grounded him from his stuff, so it's like he's upset he don't have his PlayStation. But his attitude's been better since I've cut him off for the last week and a half.
It kind of more in reality kind of deal.
And so he's not so engrossed into like Fortnite constantly. And but he come home today, and it's like, okay, he was having fun at his grandma's house. They're out in the backyard playing soccer. He's having a good time. He gets home, and it's like
Reality sets in.
yeah, and he's just okay. He's bitter.
Sure.
I'm like, you know what? We're going outside. And Kinley's like, I want to go outside. I'm so excited. Let's go outside. I want to go outside. You know, and she's just like, it's the best thing in the world.
Oh man, dude, I love that fucking age. I love it. It's like
then,
it don't matter what we're doing it.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know, I got some, I got all the stuff in to change the oil in the boat. So I'm like, I'm carrying all these packs. What's in the box, Daddy? What's that? What's this? And it's like, it's oil. Like, what's that for? And I'm like,
Can I help?
yeah.
Hell
She's like,
yes.
I want to go with you. And so I got to take it to the shop. She's like, can I go to the shop with you? I'm like, yeah, you can. Like, I want to open the door.
Yeah, it's
You know?
man, dude, it's such a
Yes.
oh, I love it.
And so like she's like on cloud 9. Like
Yeah.
she's getting to walk outside with a package. She's getting to open the door. She gets to go with me. And
All the
Lucas,
shit that don't matter is
Yeah.
the best thing.
and then you got Lucas. I'm like, dude, we're going outside. Why?
Damn it. Yeah.
It's like, we said we want to work on baseball, right? And no answer. I was like, well, let's go work on it.
Yeah.
I was like, we're going outside. So, because I asked him for like an hour, let's go outside, buddy. Let's go outside. Why are you in a bad mood? And it's like, I'm getting the silent treatment. Like, dude, he's hitting like this teenage scene early.
Yeah, I think it's in the chicken.
It could be.
Yeah.
So we go outside, we go in the shop, and then I put all the stuff in the shop, and Kinley's in and out, and then she's holding the door. Lucas wants to go in the shop, and Kinley's holding the door. You know, and it's like, he's getting mad, and she's like, no!
Yeah, shit. Here we go.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So we go outside, and we go look at the chickens, and she's on cloud 9. Lucas is over there like hitting the tether ball in circles, just mad, you know.
Taking it out on it, right hooking it.
Yeah, and then like when he hurts his hand or something, I catch him on the side of the eye, and he's like, I didn't even do that, you know what I mean? Like he's
hits the pole instead
like,
of the ball.
and then he gets like he's kind of having fun, but he's like, I don't want you to see me having fun.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, fuck you, old man. That's what it is. And yeah, I see that, my boy, too.
So then I was finally like, you know what?
Yeah.
I was like, Lucas, we're gonna go get a bucket of balls. We're gonna start practice. We're gonna swing some baseball bats.
Yeah.
So I go set the baseball net up, set the tee up, and I'm working on the Elvis Presley knees and hips. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, like breaking it in, breaking it out. You know, getting the hips moving.
Yeah, do what Bandy. Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog. You know,
Yeah, do exactly why he was not on TV. Do what he got criticized for.
So we started working on that a little bit. You want some more of this?
Yeah, hell, may as well.
But so we started working on that. So we got about halfway through a bucket, and I'm just like, see, buddy, like you feel a little better, don't you? Like I didn't have to tell him that, but I seen it in his head that he was
Starting to come to that
better.
realization.
I'll put the top. We're not going to be able to drink the rest of that tonight. We better be careful.
Yeah, no.
Get us in trouble.
Yeah, it
But
will.
but he started enjoying, like
just the moment.
and you know maybe that's what he just needed to get it out. Like he just needed to get that frustration out.
Yeah.
Like and he was in that like jumping back in the earlier parts we were talking about. It's like he's ready to flip a table.
Yeah.
Like maybe I should have set him a table up to flip, but like him, like swinging a ball, and I started being angry. I was like, I want you to hit it. Like be mad at it, you know. And like then I seen some progression of like, see what I'm talking about. Like when you swing and you're like if your front foot's swinging in the air, that means your weight's in the back foot. Like that's not what we want. And like within a bucket of balls, I'm like, see, when you turn, your heel's up in the back, your back heel's up. Like that's what I'm looking for. But it's like that's great. You fell towards the plate instead of away from it. Like see, you got better, dude.
Yeah.
And like you seen him starting to get like
a little more confident.
And he's happier.
Understanding, yeah. In control.
Then he's like, let's go play tetherball. And then like my fears kicked in.
Because you suck at tetherball?
No, because I'll kick his ass. And guess what happens when I kick his ass?
Oh, yeah.
He gets mad.
But.
So you know what I did?
Mm-hmm.
I just back and forth it for a little bit. And then Kinley comes out, I want to play. And then the greatest thing happened was, I was like, no, because I had to get a return. But then it's like, me and him were trying to finish playing.
Yeah.
And that's one reason we were like so late to supper. I'm outside playing, And so I hit it, and then I knew it was going to happen. Like it hits her, like you see her smile on her face, and you see, like you hear like Enigma in the back, da, 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 da. And like the ball's in the air. She's having the greatest time of her life playing with her daddy and her brother. All of a sudden, the ball just comes and smacks her in the forehead. You see her hair flash back, her head. You see whiplash.
That's good. That's funny.
And then there's this moment like when a kid gets hit with something or impacts some kind of
shock.
There's any level of pain, level 1 to 10.
Yeah.
They look at you and you make eye contact with them.
And that's where you
can make or break it.
Yeah.
I start doing that like laugh that's like it's fake. You can, if you know what you're looking. And she is like, I want to cry, but I'm gonna laugh because you're laughing.
Good job.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're having fun.
We are
getting busted in the face. It's so
and
fun.
Sometimes fun results in blood. So we hindsight's 20/20 on that too.
Didn't get any tears.
Yeah,
I was proud.
What I take from that, man, is, and we're very similar on that, is can't speak on the girls because I don't have them, but the boys is you got to learn to channel that. I don't know. What do you want to call it? What do you want to call that switch?
The madness, like you got to be tough.
Well, that's vague, but I think our listeners will understand it. And I think you understand what I'm saying is. Here, I'll go out and say this, and this will kind of describe what I'm referring to. Is my boy ran into I don't want to call him a bully because he's just a kid.
All of our kids are gonna run into bullies.
Yeah, but. Point being is one thing led to another, and my boy thought it was gonna, whatever he thought. He reached out, and popped him on the forehead. Now this kid's a little older, and anyway, the kid returned 3 good ones to the dude. It makes me laugh because it's just like it's like, yeah, okay, what happens when
cause and effect?
Yes, for sure. So
touch don't get hot.
Anywho,
hit somebody that may hit you back.
And we're talking about it, and I'm explaining to my son is like, all this led over words, and I'll stand on this is like, there's nothing you're gonna say to me, Cody, that's gonna make me resort to fighting you. It's words are fuck your words.
Is that a challenge?
Who cares?
Is that a challenge?
Yeah, it could be. Listen, real interesting podcast. Y'all stick around. But no, is what I'm saying is like, the only time where it's really is defense. You have to defend yourself. And that's when that comes is as an adult, you're not going to learn this at 9 for sure. And I'm almost 30, but I think I've almost got, you've got to be able to flip the switch to get into that man animal type, when you got to turn that on. And that being said, if we're prepping them for real life, is like, when do you turn it on all the way? When do you turn it on half the way? When do you leave it off? You got to start setting those scenarios so they can relate to it, because every situation is going to be different. So that being said is like, all right, your boss pissed you off, right? Does that mean punch him in the forehead? No, that's not the right thing to do. So
only when you're 5.
Well, yes, fair.
8, 12, maybe.
But when you're that age, and then you become 20s and 30s, and then your boss pisses you off, you're like, okay. But then when somebody tries to take your wallet while you're taking your girl out to a movie, well, that's different. So you're prepping them for life on just controlling emotions. That's the general.
Yeah, and I've really worked with Lucas on that too. I'll let you finish your story.
No, you're good.
So Lucas, he's a little more sensitive than the average kid.
That's okay.
And Lucas is really smart. I don't really sometimes. I try not to I'm not bragging, but I'm going to point out it is like he's probably one of the smartest kids in elementary school right now.
Yeah, no, dude,
he's probably one of the smartest kids in his grade.
He's good.
And I was smart. My wife was smart. Like somehow the genetics just fucking worked. Lucky me.
Great.
It could be a bad thing when he gets older. It could be a good thing.
Yeah. Hey, you either get muscles or brains, and
so things like
that's
sports,
the side you land on.
I had an argument with a referee last year in soccer.
Mm-hmm.
We're like an 8U or not 10U. I think we're 10U. It moved him up to 10U in soccer.
Uh-huh.
So he's one of the younger soccer kids, and I had a team mostly unexperienced, never really played, and like Lucas is the only one that knows offsides.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've shared this with you before.
Yeah.
And it's like even the referee's like, well, kids don't know the rules, they don't understand it.
That one fucking does.
Yeah. he probably knows it better than you do, buddy.
Yeah, and it's because he studies it, or
And so now let's put that same kid into a school on a playground where other kids are playing soccer, and let's be real, in Alabama, soccer is not a big sport.
It is not.
Most of the white kids. I'm not trying to.
FIFA's the only fucking reason it's known about.
Because you can play it on a video game.
Yeah, that's my point. Yeah.
But there's a lot of Hispanic community growing in our neighborhood that they play a lot of soccer.
Sure.
The white kids are really the minority in the soccer
Fucking
groups
gringos
right now.
don't know.
But Lucas knows the rules, and now you've got one of these little football studs that's good at basketball, good at baseball,
but he can't use his feet.
Well, it's not that he can't play, but he doesn't know the rules. And you think about like most sports, like in football, what happens when you touch the white line? You're out of bounds.
Yeah. Okay.
Basketball.
Yeah, that white line. Yeah.
Yeah. What happens when you touch the line in a basketball game?
Out of bounds. Yeah.
Out of bounds. Guess what happens when you touch the line in soccer?
It depends on where the ball is. Nothing really.
Yeah,
the ball
can touch the line.
Yeah.
You can run out of bounds and run back in bounds, but it depends on where the ball's at.
No.
So you see the dynamic of you've got these 8-9-year-olds who understand these other sporting rules, and then you put a game like soccer who has totally different rules, and then you got Lucas who's like, well, if this person kicks it out past the goal line, now the goal line's over where the goal's at, right?
Yeah.
Or you kick it out of a sideline, like all these different rules applies on where the ball goes, who gets it, is it out, is it in? Yes. And that little shit knows it.
Yeah. And
so now he's going to argue with a kid at school.
And that's fine. That's good.
And he gets emotional with that's the rule. This is how we're going to play it. This is what's supposed to be. You don't know what you're talking about. I do because I played. You didn't play. I know the rules. Like 8-year-old argument.
And it doesn't make him wrong. Just we got to teach him.
Well, guess what?
What happens? What happens when you're that nail that sticks up?
He gets emotional. Right, not necessarily crying over this, but he's getting built up. Yeah. He's worked up. He's ready to flip a table.
He's like, "Yeah, you cheated me.
Yeah, you're wrong. I'm telling you this rules." And the kid's getting like, "You're just being a sissy." Just
yeah. And then the kid, of course, does the human thing. He's like, "Maybe I'm bigger than you." Fuck you.
So when a kid doesn't know something, how does a kid act?
Angry.
And he starts like, "Okay, now I'm gonna be like." You're just being a crybaby, blah, blah, blah. Because, like, you keep whining about it.
I'm going to belittle you to make me feel better about my insignificance and the brain power.
So you put these scenarios together, and it's like, okay, Lucas, you're getting upset because you're right and he's wrong. He's getting upset because he doesn't. What fucking difference does it make?
It doesn't make a difference. And as smart as he is, like, it'll be a phase, just predictions. Stay tuned for episode 20-something or 40-something whenever, like, if I'm right or wrong. But he's going to be like, okay, that kid don't understand the rules because he's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? And like, he's not worth my time. It's not just
stupid. He's like, maybe he's just not he's not educated on it, right? He's ignorant to it. Yeah.
Yes, ignorant and in the correct definition of the word. This kid's ignorant to it, and I don't have the time or the means to explain it to him, so he's not worth my time. So I'm not going to get emotional over him anymore. So, controlling that.
So you know what I did this week?
What'd you do?
So I'm sitting in the hotel room. I'm getting on ChatGPT, and I'm like, how to tell an 8-year-old
Chat's to respond. You, Cody.
Listen, but I'm asking for AI advice on what should my 8-year-old kid tell his 8-year-old friend or kid on the playground.
What did Chat tell you?
But it's funny little things. But the moral of it is, and this is kind of what I told him, is like, dude, if you show a kid that you're upset when he like calls you a name or says something,
he's winning.
He's going to take advantage of it.
Yeah,
you have got to. Hey, you call me a sissy? I'm be like, well,
your mom's a whore. Like, yeah, I'm just whatever.
I'm trying to remember which one he liked the best. I sent him like a list.
Get some comebacks.
Yeah,
you know what? Be witty.
Give me some witty comebacks.
Use that big ass brain. Use all of that to. Yeah, hey, look, I know what your mom did with so-and-so's mom back in the fucking 98.
No, I ask AI to use like an 8-year-old vocabulary, an 8-year-old mindset.
Well, maybe we teach our
good ones.
Okay, that's good.
Right, but
I think we teach different.
But the generics of it came back to the generics. The basics of it is it come back with saying you can't show a reaction to an emotional reaction, because that's when a kid is like, hey, you're condemning me.
It's
I'm going
all
to cut
talk
you
at
down.
that age.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
you got to act like, hey, brushing off. Hey, you call me a sissy? It's like,
Yeah.
well, you're the one out here. You're the one out here playing with babies. You know,
Yeah.
like that's the 8-year-old comeback. Like,
And
hey,
it's
you want to make fun of
funny.
me, but you're out here doing it too.
Yeah, and that's funny though. It's because it's like I keep saying hindsight's 2020. It's whatever. It's an overused term, but we're after the same goal, but we go about it different. It's like my boy's the only black kid, to my knowledge, in his grade. I could be very, very wrong on that, but he's colored boy. You know, he's black. Whatever. Who cares? That being said, there's probably going to come a time in his life whenever somebody says something to him. I don't want you to have the 8-year-old come back. I want you to have the dagger in the heart to come back. You know what I'm saying? So I might go about it different, but hindsight is like you might be teaching your kid the 8-year-old. I'm teaching my kid the 20-year-old come back. Both of them's going to dig as deep as they got to dig. It's like shut them up and just be witty.
It's like you're teaching the minority of, based on a skin color. I'm over here teaching like you're gonna be a fucking nerd, and like how do you know what I mean? Like we're all like,
but
we all have
point
these things.
is
Like,
the point is
if I had
you
the
got
fat
to-
kid, because I was a fat kid,
Yeah.
it's like, hey buddy, you are fat. Like you want to keep eating candy bars? Like
What are you gonna
You're
do?
gonna get picked on for being overweight. Like
you're not
every
going
kid
to
has,
stop bullying.
Yeah,
You
every
can't
kid, no
stop
matter
it.
what, you could be smart and get made fun of. You can
Mm-hmm.
be skinny and get made fun of. You can be overweight and get made fun of. You can be white and be like super white and be like the white kids are gonna make fun of you because you're super white.
You're not wrong. And
Hey, you got red head, haha.
yeah,
or,
yeah,
you know.
fuck you, Irish. Look at you, ginger. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just you can make fun of whatever you. To relate to that is in broiler houses and on a chicken farm. Every now and then, every now and then, a yellow chicken, baby chicken, whatever.
This Basil Hayden's kicking in.
Yeah, no, for sure. They're born black. You have an oddball.
Little ugly duck.
You want to know what you do to them?
Not that they're black chickens, but it's like they stand out.
Yeah, no, they have a genetic mutation. They're different. You want to know what the other chickens do to them? Kill them.
They're different.
So the point is it's not you can't stop the bullying aspect of it.
You can
it's
only
gonna
stop how
happen.
you can only control your own emotions.
You
You
can.
can't control what people
That's true.
say.
That's
you can
true.
control what you're
Humans
how
are
you
going to
react
pick
to
on
it.
you for being different. Chickens are going to pick on you for being different. Dogs, and it's an animal instinct. So you got to teach them to really stay on topic. Is how to handle the world. Is you're different. Fit in. You can't change the world. You've got to find your own way, and you've got to fit into it. You know, you're going to get picked on for this and that and whatever, but you got to handle it.
It's tough, man. Like that, I feel so bad for like as an adult now, looking back at like how we teach our kids to be. Like, I'm gonna jump back into like the dad side of it. Like, I don't remember having a conversation with my dad about it. Like, I don't know if I was ever parented on how to like. I probably was. Like my dad would always say like you can pick your nose, you can pick your friend's nose. No, what is it? You can pick your nose.
I've heard it, but I don't know it. I know what
your
you're
friends.
speaking on.
But you
Yeah.
can't pick your friend's nose. It's something like that,
Something
right?
along, yeah.
But you can pick your nose, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's nose. That's what it is,
I think that's it.
right? You
Yeah.
fucking pick my nose, dude. I'm gonna slap you across the face.
Yeah. And I mean, as a kid, you don't understand none of that. But
Do you remember like when you were a kid? Do you remember anything that really like pissed you off? Like, do you remember something like those big moments as when you've been a kid? Like
we're talking about like less than 12, right?
well, whenever like 16 and under.
Yeah, no, for sure. I kind of feel like I got picked on for being mature.
Would you have your hair on your balls or something?
No. No, example is like teachers up there doing their job, and I got to go to work in a little bit after this, and I've been at work yesterday leading up to this.
You're like 16.
Well, yeah,
think so,
16 or younger, because I mean, I did work a lot when I was a kid, but the point being is like, this motherfucker's up here trying to just get through his day, and y'all won't shut up. So I'm over here like, what? Shut the fuck up. And he's like, God dang, I don't want to listen to them, bitch. It's like, and I know you don't. So like, just let's play ball and let's get through this. And so, I caught a little bit of flack for that growing up and whatnot. So yeah, I would say that's how I related to it. But it wasn't on like I was more mature. It was just like, let's just get through the class.
Yeah.
And let's just look. Nobody wants to be here, the teacher included. The teacher, look at him; he's fucking miserable. It's like he's teaching you.
Looking back, I'm just like, some of those teachers had to be like, man, I could not.
Oh man, dude.
I have a lot more respect for teachers now.
Kudos to the teachers.
A lot more respect now.
Kudos. Dude, I would have just lost. I would have flipped the fucking table. Dude, I'm not kidding. Some of the folks I went to school with, it's like you call on you to read and you just sit there and look at them. And I'm thinking, just read the damn paragraph. All he's doing is asking you to read. And you can't do that. And now here we all are listening to him yell at you. And what's it got us? What's it got us? 15 minutes and we got shit to do. So.
Man, I was a terror in school. I say that. I asked the teachers, hey, Dad, do you remember me? Like, some of them do, some of them don't. I talked a lot. Like, I think I was an attention seeker.
Yeah, you was probably thinking you were a terror.
I was probably
a regular
that
kid.
Yeah, like, I'm probably that kid that you were, like, frustrated with because, like, I was, like, asking stupid questions.
Maybe. I'm the one over there like, Cody, just shut the fuck up so we can go home.
But, there's like, I was talking with some people, like, on this trip I was on. We were talking at dinner, and it's like, I was in class with a kid who burnt my school down. Like, he's an arsonist at like 15 years old, 14 years old.
Mm-hmm. What kind of home life did he have?
Yeah, like I remember sitting kind of like when you shared that story, it's like I'm sitting in like English class and he's in the back of the room standing up, just being like, I ain't participating and just fucking being like, he's like,
he wasn't prepared to handle the world.
No.
No,
and
the
teacher's over here like, hey, today we're going to talk about this story or whatever book we're reading, this poem, learning about adverbs, and it's like this guy's back here like,
fuck you.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna make noise in your class. What are you gonna do about it? See, like I wasn't that bad. I just like would make jokes. Like I don't think I farted or anything in the middle of class and tried to be funny about it.
Sure, yeah.
But I'd be like I'm bored. Like if I was bored, I'd be like real loud and just be like, you little fucking prick.
Yeah, somebody look at me, please. Look at me.
And I think I've told you before. It's like the one teacher, her name's Miss Arnold. Like I don't remember. Like I'm in 6th grade. You know what she told me? Like, hey, you want attention? Stand up. Everybody look at Cody.
Oh, well, that's a good one.
I stood up.
That's a good one.
Oh, Cody, what do you want to say? The floor is all yours. You're welcome. You can say anything you want to right now. What do you want to say?
What'd you say?
I'm going to sit back down.
Thank you. Yeah.
Spotlight's on me. Screw this.
Yeah. No.
And then like 10 years. Yeah, like 10 years later, I go to this mega church in our town, and it's like we're having like a marriage council. Like there's this group coming down, and we went to this church the first time, and like, hey, there's our 6th grade teachers. Hey, Miss Arnold, how are you? You remember me? Yeah, how can I forget? I'm like, gosh.
Yeah, you took the whole damn classroom.
Again, this is the same like classroom and the same teacher like where we had dare class where I got kicked out of.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like it's all falling. 6th grade was a rough year, man. Hormones.
What about dare class?
Well, again,
where's all those people that just offered you all this stuff that they told me about?
You're still waiting for it. I mean, I saw it like
I ain't seen it
in my like I was out of high school quick and working at an early age, and I'm 16 years old. Like I said, I don't know if I've shared this, but like I got out of high school at 16. Wrong crowd.
Happens.
And got my GED, went to college. Like right off the bat, I'm 16. I'm taking tests in college and getting exempted and credit for a full credit of the course because I'm not saying I was that smart, but I was. I mean, I'm just like, I was a smart kid.
Sure. I
just had bad guidance.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm getting ahead of my time, and like I think I was just bored in school. And I look back, I was just bored.
Yeah. I can relate to the boredom thing. Is my deal was, especially with high school, was like, now math class I had a respect for because I grew up with construction. So it's like when you start showing me 90-degree angles and 45s and stuff, I'm like, okay, all right, we're on to something, you know. And then once it got past that, I'm just thinking like, how's this going to help me past this? Like, this is a waste. I could be making money. Yeah, and that was my Achilles heel. Is I got hammered on the work aspect of things, and I didn't necessarily get pushed on the being a good pupil side of things, and that probably could have benefited me more.
But you use math more than you realize.
Dude, all the time.
So like this, if I had an alcohol that's 45% alcohol, what proof is it?
90.
Math.
It's double, but it's simple things. So to me and you though,
2 times proof equals.
But that grows up
Yeah.
with allegedly making homemade wine and a little bit of.
Now you're in the science class.
Yeah, that's my point. And now we're doing
And
chemistry.
then you're looking at history, saying I got to hide this shit in the backyard because history tells
what
me.
happens when yeast eats sugar. Well, shit, it farts and makes alcohol. Let's, that.
I love your yeast sound. Like that was great yeast sound.
Yeast, yeah.
So baking. Like I started getting into baking a little bit for a little bit. And,
that's
I kind of
fucking chemistry, dude. Especially with
my wife looks at me like I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
What's the bread?
Like making bread.
What's the bread that like looks like it's living? What?
We have a lot of holes, like we have a lot of air in it.
Yeah. What is it?
Well, see, it depends on like you get it's sourdough.
Sourdough bread. I see videos of that and I'm like, damn. I'm talking about they got a whole bowl.
And
just
I know we're way off track of what we're going to talk about. Like,
yeah,
but you get into growing sourdough and like there's a whole chemistry behind it.
It is, man, and common sense plays a factor in a lot of it, but you don't realize how much you're retaining on the aspect of schooling and whatnot. But it's real world stuff. Some of it, most of it ain't.
Well, one of the things I'm saying, like, what's something stupid that you think you've obsessed over that really didn't matter?
Everything. No. Obsessed.
Because I find there's a lot of things, and I could probably like pick a lot of little things apart, but like, I think that's one of the challenges I look at a lot. Like, I really overwhelm myself with little things, and I forget that there's a lot of big picture things.
Yeah.
That are more important in life.
I will say, we feel like we went off topic, but all three of these are really hand.
It all merges together.
It really does. Holding it together. I'm going to say remodeling my house, dude. That was like a month, maybe 2 months, month and a half of just pure hell, if memory serves right.
Because you're living in the house and you're trying to like remodel it.
Yes, everything's dusty. It's summertime. There's no windows. There's no insulation. And when I say remodel, I'm talking I gutted it.
It's tough to live in a house that you're gutting.
I mean, gutted it. It's 100
especially when you get the sheetrock.
Yeah, it's August and it's June and I don't have windows. There's plywood over the holes where my windows are supposed to be and I'm waiting on them to come in and this and that. I obsessed over that. I would get off at 5:30 in the morning working third shift and I would crack beer when I got home, let's say 6, and I would start working on the house. Some days, it was like 40 hours, sleepless days, but it was like obsessive and it made it unenjoyable. I mean, living in a remodeled house in the summertime down here is pretty shitty, but it just made it miserable. And but there was like a goal there that I just upset and I chased it until it was done. Hindsight is that's great. And now it's done and over with. But thinking back on it, I was like, damn, dude, you really lost a lot. You probably took a year off your life expectancy. Just stressing and worrying. Yeah, it wasn't worth
That's
it.
important though. That's your home. Emotionally, you're like, hey, look, I go back to expectation. Like, here you are. You're like, I'm trying to make something great. I want my family to be proud of me. I want me to be happy with what I make. And then you got kids involved.
But that's the mindset, though. At that time is I didn't have the wife and the kids and whatnot. Now, I did meet my wife and kid
during that time.
So
you grew up all of a sudden. It made you grow up.
Quick. I mean,
see, I'm over here, in my mind, I'm like thinking, like, you got kids? Because, like, I remember Lucas
it
was
wasn't that bad. I couldn't imagine doing it with kids.
Whoever built the house that we'd bought, the first house we had together, they put a closet in the living room.
Stupid place to put it.
Now, I say a closet. The closet was in the master bedroom, but the wall in the master bedroom and the living room shared, if that makes sense. So, like, sure. Imagine your wall where your TV's at, and it's hanging on a closet. I'm just like, okay. How about I get rid of the closet, because I can use the walk-in closet, and not make the wall flat. Like, so, like, when you start, like, cutting walls and sanding sheetrock, like your house, especially on an open floor plan, where the kid, you've got to like, I hung some plastic up. It made it easier, but it's a lot, man. It's a mess.
I can recall the time that I did feel like a boy dog during my remodel process. Just to elaborate on it, is I built, not by myself. I did have some guidance on it. Since I was so young, but I pretty much built an upside down beam to support 2/3 of the roof of my home, and you can't see it. So it sounds elaborate, but it's not whenever you see it. But at the time, though, it's like when that was done, I was like, dude, I done knocked out every wall in this damn thing. And it's being suspended by something you can't see. Boy, I walked around like I was a, engineer.
You felt great.
You made
it work.
A little bit, and broke, but we made it happen. And I don't know. Here we are, a little longer later.
You know what I almost want to do? Something different right now is, like, in my mind, I'm trying to think, what am I really obsessed over? Like, what have I and got emotional on? I almost want to call my wife, because she'll probably know.
What are you? What the?
Let me see your phone. Let's call her. I want this again. I have no idea how this is going to work out. I have no idea what she's going to say.
I don't think I have her number.
She may be. Let me see your phone. I can call her.
I do. There it is.
And I'm gonna be like, hey, look, you're live on the
guest spot. While you're watching kids and hanging with my wife.
Hello?
Oh, shit. Hang on.
You're live right now. I'm just going to throw this out there.
Hello?
I got a question for you.
I'm talking to Chris. I'm down, sister.
Hey, listen. I got a question for you.
You're talking to your husband.
You're on the podcast.
Oh, I love that.
What do you think is something stupid that I've obsessed over that really didn't matter?
Recently.
Oh, recently?
I'll put the pressure on.
See, I'm having a hard time. So is she.
That's good.
Am I just laid back?
I am.
No, Cody,
I think you are. Like, I'm literally praying for our youngest right now, so she won't interrupt us.
Take your time. Take your time.
You're so fast.
So if you can't think of anything and I can't think of anything, am I just not obsessed over anything?
I know. So tell me, what's the question again?
Name something that I'm obsessed over that really doesn't matter. Like, what have I gotten upset about that really doesn't matter?
You want to talk to Chris?
She wants to talk to you.
Hey.
Isn't having kids great?
It is.
Well,
best thing I ever did.
Is there anything in baseball? I can't even think. Like, baseball's been pretty chill this year.
So, well, if you can't think of anything, I'm just gonna skip the subject.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, like, I wish I could, but I honestly can't.
Look at me. I've scored one.
I tell you what, call my wife.
Well, wife, I appreciate your feedback, and so
I apologize. I wish I could think of something, but like off the top of my head, no, I cannot think of anything right now. Give me 20 minutes. 20 minutes, and I will be like,
We don't have 20.
all right. Well, thank you for being the first caller on the show.
You're very welcome.
We will see you later. Love you much.
One day soon. Love you.
So yeah, I don't really stress about a lot, and I guess I'll be honest. Like maybe I'm just, I don't. Maybe I just don't overwhelm. There's things that I probably overwhelm myself with.
Yeah, but you don't share them.
Like,
so
what outfit am I going to wear? Or like, really, that only happens like once in a very blue moon. What? Like for my birthday, it was like everybody else is dressing nice. Maybe I should dress nice.
Yeah, but that was influenced.
But like when we thought, like, what doesn't really matter? There's got to be something I stress about.
I know there is. You ain't that perfect. No offense to you, but like, dude,
cars like being clean sometimes it bugs me. But
dude, how about me and looking into your bed cover, and it just may be news to you, but like I know how peculiar is a better word. Anal was the first word that came to mind. But peculiar was the word. And you're like, hey man, why don't you just flip that over? And I'm thinking, fuck bud, it's a nice truck. I was like, I know how you are.
I gave the keys to some high schoolers the other day at the camp. I was like, hey, there's some tennis balls in the back of my truck. Here's the key. Go look in the back.
You did what?
Yeah. And so they had to figure. I noticed they popped the latch on it.
I don't want to pick on you. I don't want to pick on you, but I'm just thinking like, damn, what? For real?
Well, they're like, hey, this coach just gave me the key to his truck, and
I'm going. Yeah, no,
it's a great truck on the hill.
Yeah,
it's like they're like,
yeah. But still, I just me and you being friends, I just don't expect that.
Yeah,
that's just no, I don't.
I think kids who play athletics, I could
more
trust
responsible.
Them. It's like, hey, like you get two kids. And typically, kids don't try to do things with they're getting in trouble, and somebody's going to tell. But there's not so much. There's only so much stuff in the back of my truck, and you're talking about baseball. I've got a tee.
But did they close the fucking bed cover the way that you with the little?
I don't think they didn't latch the latch all the way.
See, they fucked up, man.
But I also didn't expect them. Like, hey, they couldn't figure it out. But the tennis balls were in the back of the back of the bed, so you almost had to like pop this up because I've got like the catching gear, the all this stuff is in the front, and the tennis ball bag was in the back. So. But I also felt kind of prepared. I'm like, hey, look at me. I got my stuff.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I don't know. Dude, there's something that keeps you up at night.
I do get obsessed. I wouldn't say obsessed, but I spend a lot of time thinking on like, how do people feel? Like, how am I going to make somebody feel? How am I going to think? What are they going to think of me?
You're a people pleaser.
I am. It's like severely. Like when I don't please someone, like, hey, this week I've upset somebody not meaning to. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, gosh, how do I apologize to him? Like, I told a rep, hey, buy him some donuts and see how, like, just to say, hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah. In my time at Walmart, we used to call them "fuck you" cheeseburgers. So it's like, hey, you buy me a cheeseburger? Yeah, I get it.
But I'm not out to like make people mad. I don't like this. I think I worry about how I make people feel.
You do. You don't show it though, so. And
that, as a manager, like that's one of my weakest points as a manager is like I struggle to tell you where you're weak at because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I want you to feel great about you coming to work. I want you to feel great about what you do. Yeah. And then sometimes it's like I fail to tell you like, hey, you know what? You fucking suck right now, and you need to pull your shit together. Because like the whole team's having to pull your weight, but
which is where we differ. But again, we're same goal.
I don't really have anybody that like this that bad. Like I have a great team that works with me, and like, but it's like, but I still like I struggle with saying the constructive things. Like that's my weak point. But that matters to me. Like how you feel matters.
Well, that's not a bad thing to do, man. That's not a bad thing to keep you up at night. Right. It could be like me as like, oh, God, I only got $80 this week, and what am I going to do? With everything's done. My wife's the best. Thank God bless her soul.
But when we talk about like what keeps you up at night, my past is what keeps me up at night.
Fuck that.
You know, I look. You know, do you ever have those what ifs?
Yeah. No, I have.
Like, hey, if I would have done
Man.
this differently, if I would have done this that differently,
So, on some things, yeah.
you know, like I go with back like even high school fights. Like, if I would have just done this, would that have
I don't
changed
know,
the
man.
course of my life?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
So regrets are what keeps me. Like, there's a lot of regrets where I chose one path. If I would have chosen this path,
Yeah.
if I would have walked away from this,
If
or
you
if I would have stayed here longer,
if you would have had a 30-year-old mind in that 20-year-old body, what would you have done? Yeah. Yeah.
So I criticize myself and my decision making.
Sometimes.
That's what really stresses me out.
That's good.
And
That's not,
when I look at things,
not bad.
you know, but things that matter, like what does it really matter? You know, it's like
It doesn't at all.
like getting my hey, take your cleat, don't get my fucking car dirty. Like you know, like maybe there is some little things that's like, hey, don't do this because that's I fucking work hard for that. Don't do that.
Well, you know, principles and timelines, they vary. But I don't know, man. The hell with the past. It's done. You know, if and I say the past, I'm talking about like more than a couple months, you know. Whatever you did a month ago, it might still be relevant. But whatever you did 10 years ago, it doesn't matter anymore. It
really don't.
Oh.
You know, I have
That's
to tell
interesting,
myself,
though.
and we'll make this a subject in another episode, but like, you know, our past is what shaped our future, and the future is what we live in.
I used to work with this cat at Walmart. His name's Matt. But he used to just really send me down a rabbit hole, and he'd be like, I'd be having a shitty night. He'd be like, hey, just think, every decision you've ever made in your life, no matter how big or small, has led you to the moment that you're in right here, right now.
We're sitting at this table because of every one of those.
Blow my brains all over the room. I'm just a who knows.
The butterfly effect. I don't know if you've ever watched the movie Butterfly Effect.
For sure, yeah.
And that's
Ashton
what comes to
Kutcher,
mind.
a good movie. But and then you know, he would say that and I'd be like, man, kiss my ass, Matt. I'd be like, why you gotta do that to me?
It is, you know, and that's part of like when I look back, it's like I have who I have today. I have my kids, my family, because of the decisions I've made.
Yeah.
I'm where I'm at in life because of the decisions I've made. I have what I have because of the decisions, both good and bad.
Yep.
And it is what it is. It's like I'm happy where I'm at. I looked at things could have been worse and things could have been better, you know, but I have what I have now because of the decisions that I did and didn't make. The way I made them and the way I didn't make them.
And if we all lived right, that would be enough.
And maybe that, you know, going to that subject of like teaching our kids to handle the world, you know, like maybe a lot of like those past decisions that I made influence how hard I do not push my kid, right? Like if you don't have a lot of history of like the history book in your head going through, like when you lay down at night, like there's 3 or 4 hours I've laid in bed thinking about the decisions I've made, the bad decisions.
Same.
You know, like when I really think about it, like there's nights where it's like it's 2:30 in the fucking morning and I'm laying here and I can't go to sleep.
Thinking about something
because
happened
I'm worried,
5 years ago.
No,
10
15 years ago.
15, 20, yeah
like,
whatever.
And then I'm over here playing the conversation. Like I can remember certain conversations, certain actions.
Yeah.
Something I did that was both criminal.
And if I would have done this, said that, did this would be the result.
Like why did I make dude, like are you fucking kidding me?
That's wasted time though.
And like I would lose sleep over like random nights. I'd get built up over it to lose sleep over something that I had control over the time. But now it really doesn't make a difference. Like you know what? It's in the past. It is what it is. It's I'm where I'm at because of what I did, what I didn't do, and how I did it. It's got me where I'm happy where I'm at today. I really am. I'm truly happy of who I am, what I stand for.
It shows. It shows, man. Dude, you just friend to friend, you kind of glow on the level that I kind of hope to get to one day.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, just.
But I feel like there's so much more that I've not achieved or I want to be.
Yeah.
That
Fuck
I don't.
What you didn't do.
But then there's the laziness of me. It's like
I'm
too lazy to get to that point. You're like I'm not gonna wake up at 4:30 in the morning to go to the gym to get the body that I want.
Nah,
I'm just
fuck
not
the
lazy.
body, but. There's realistic goals.
That's what people want to do. You know what I mean? They want the body. You know?
No shit. Hell, I would love to look like I looked at fucking 1920, but I don't. And it is what it is. That being said, man, I don't know. Do we have Yeah, we do have would you rather's. Is it time for would you rather's?
Are you ready to get into that, man?
Well, I gotta piss.
It's getting that time.
I do gotta piss. Here, let me kick it off. And I have not read these. Would you rather always have to bottle up your frustration or scream like a crazy person at minor inconveniences?
Well, this week I've made fun of people who like go crazy over minor inconveniences because they can't hold their shit together.
Well,
I'd rather just ball that shit up and blow up like a fucking little bottle rocket.
hey, be a man.
Would you rather have an amazing week but know something bad's about to happen, or just have an average week forever?
Average week, baby.
Keeping it average.
Yes, absolutely, man.
Well,
Here, dude, end us off. Would you rather have to fight? Oh, damn, this should be to mine. Would you rather have to fight a 10-year-old who's a black belt or negotiate a toddler who's overtired?
I'm gonna stick with like the ninja skills of the black belt.
Yeah, no, dude, 10-year-old, I got him.
That's interesting.
I got him.
I'd love to show me your skills, big guy.
Yeah, good luck.
And maybe he is strong enough that I can we can slap around and have like some good physical fun.
Best chance. One, if you put me up with 4, okay, maybe. Anyway,
Well, guys, hey, it's been a fun night.
stay classy.
Enjoyed it.
Empty. Woo! Gotta piss. Gotta piss bad.